Welcome back to the Meeks28 YouTube channel. And, well, Trump's big bill, because that's what we name bills, it passed in the House, and there's a couple things that are included that, maybe he said he wasn't going to touch or diminish, and a couple things that he said he was going to do within them. And yeah, so let's get into it. Let's break it down. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you like this content and want to see more of it. And just like my personality, consider me hot, sexy, or maybe looking like a young Whoopi Goldberg, which tends to be a conservative continuous talking point, which lets me know that either conservatives have a weird obsession with black dreaded women or they're just racist.
And Virginia's congressional delegation, North Carolina's congressional delegation, they voted just the way you thought they might. Republicans voting for this thing, Democrats not voting for this thing. In the end, just really a handful, a couple of Republicans voted against this resolution for differing reasons. It was a big victory, though, for Speaker Mike Johnson, President Donald Trump, and the president's pursuit of what he likes to call one big, beautiful bill. Remember, when it comes to the big ticket items in President Trump's agenda, what he campaigned on, limiting Social Security taxes, no taxes on tips for service workers, building that big wall on the southern border. Those are things he needs Congress for. He can't sign an executive order to make those things happen. So he needs the funding in many cases from Congress. They control the purse strings. And even though Republicans control the House and the Senate, passing a big bill can be difficult. Remember, the president is choosing this one big, beautiful path. We're not going to get a tax bill and an immigration bill and an energy bill. We're going to get one big bill. And now we know what the parameters of that bill will be based off this vote last night.
The parameters will be, open those ass cheeks, because I'm taking all the taxes and giving you nothing in return. It's going to be privatized. You better get your grandmother a private health insurance. You'll have to pay for it. You'll have to help her. She has so many medical conditions, okay? She's dying. Absolutely dying. Should the federal government help? No. Fuck your grandmother.
$2 trillion in spending cuts. That could get messy. You have some who are worried about Medicaid being touched, although Speaker Mike Johnson has indicated there was nothing in the bill yesterday that would suggest Medicaid is going to be changing anytime soon.
Yeah, for the House, but then the Senate has to vote on it. See what I'm saying? It's an interesting catch-22, and by the time it goes to the ringer on the Senate, watch there be something about cutting Medicaid. Each different house does their part to achieve the mission. Each different house takes their blow. Senate takes the heavier blows because they're the fucking Senate, right? The House takes the lesser blows because, A, there's more of them. Okay, Texas has like fucking 34 or some shit members of the House of Representatives. California has like, I think like 38. You see what I'm saying? Like, to dilute the rage against than the Senate. So the House of Republicans usually, or the House of Congress usually takes the smaller bunches. The Senate takes the heavier ones simply because, like, by the time it gets to them, it's already fucking too late. And also they have like 6-year terms. So the hope is that by the time their election comes up, you've probably forgotten the fuck about the things they fucked you over on. And it's also the Senate, so you're more than likely going to vote on party lines in the Senate anyways.
People watching us right now in Virginia, North Carolina, no doubt rely on or know somebody on Medicaid. So we'll be following that story very, very closely. This calls for close to $5 trillion in tax cuts and new spending for things like the border wall. So what happens next? Again, this was just a first step. Blaine, you described it perfectly. Step one. Now, the hard part begins for Republicans, having to come up with the actual policies that fall in line with those numbers and metrics. How much are these tax cuts? What government program gets cut? We don't expect a bill to make its way to President Trump's desk until April or May. This will be the big story of the spring in Washington, Blaine.
Yeah, it's not going to make it till April or May, probably because the Senate Republicans are going to have to find a way to dilute it. They just are, because the reality of it is, the money, like, has got to come from somewhere. And if they're doing no new taxes, and then cutting money to put in other things that are stupid as fuck, like the border wall, and paying for detention camps, and fucking, I don't know, arresting illegals because they're bringing all the fentanyl, which they're not. It's most definitely American citizens through air travel, but whatever. Where's the money going to come from? It's going to come from Medicaid. It's going to come from Social Security. That's where it's going to come. Like, Social Security is already basically dead in the water. My generation, part of my mom's generation, and Gen Z and Gen Alpha, we will never get Social Security checks. It's already dying of funding. Why? Because the federal government hasn't really put any new funding in it whatsoever. They've literally let it solely be upon tax based, which is stupid because eventually the amount of people on it outran the taxes it produced because of population surges. So the federal government never made it. Same thing with like minimum wage. They haven't adjusted the minimum wage since like the fucking early thousands, but inflation has gone skyrocket. That's why there is no place on this fucking country, in this country, the year of our Lord 2025, where someone could have a full-time minimum wage job, not one, but two, and afford an apartment. There is nowhere. You could be in the middle of bumfuck Wyoming. You would not be able to afford an apartment in bumfuck Wyoming.
Yeehaw! Yeehaw! Yeehaw!
That's the insanity of this country now, is nothing has been adjusted, okay? And this is why Congress is so fucking useless. They're literally so useless. They fuck you sideways, dilute how fucked you are, use your low attention span to convince you that nothing is wrong, right? Nothing is being taken from you. And then they got idiots all across the country that don't know anything about politics that will repeat these talking points, and then when they hit reality, they do one of two things. They either get angry and tell you to go fuck yourself, or they say, well, I don't know about all that, didn't know that, I had to look in that more, and then they never look in it more because it breaks their reality. So yeah, Medicaid is getting fucked. Social Security is getting fucked, okay? And this bill passing in the House is a guarantee that it's going to get fucked. Because remember, Republicans also basically control the Senate. And Democrats are fucking useless bitches, okay? Democrats, their messaging is fucking garbage all across the board. Democrats have had the shittiest messaging I have ever seen a political party have. Ever. Hell, the fucking Green Party of America has better messaging than the fucking Democrats right now, which is astonishing to say. Democrats have all these geniuses working for them, and they can't come to the understanding that, our messaging is dog shit. Our messaging sounds elitist, snobby, and is trying its best to basically come across as, I don't know, fucking philosophical. You're in America. Our education system is dog shit. You come across as philosophical, you might as well be speaking a different language to at least 65% of the population. The remaining fucking goddamn 35%, quite literally, don't give a fuck because they're already in cushy, comfortable fucking positions or jobs, or at the bare minimum are holding on to dear life to what they consider middle fucking class. So they're gonna vote not in my backyard fucking policies anyways. They're gonna vote liberal fucking policies anyways because they're doing their best to hold on to the little fucking crumb of success that they do have. But Democrats want to sound like fucking, I don't know, goddamn Greek philosophers or some shit. These motherfuckers want to be fucking Aristotle so bad. But they fucking fail every damn time. You had Hillary Clinton talking about Pokemon Go to the polls. You got Kamala Harris over talking about coconut tree. A coconut tree. Speak the shit they understand. Fuck me. You're not running for like Congress or president or what the fuck ever in this goddamn utopian society with a 100% education rate. America has a shittier literacy rate than fucking like Bengal. Are you kidding me? Like fucking India has better literacy than us. The fuck out of here trying to sound like a goddamn genius. This Medicare, this Medicaid, Social Security, all this shit is gonna get cut. It's gonna get touched. It is. The Senate is going to add all the hard cuts. Why? Well, because a shit ton of the Senate just won elections. So in 5 years, will you remember that they fucked you sideways? No, because it's American. People are stupid. Their attention span is fucking 5 seconds. A goddamn goldfish has a higher attention span than Americans.
Talking about money, too, Joe, we know that today's the deadline a federal judge gave the White House to pay the foreign aid funds related to the USAID deal. This has been something we've been watching for, almost a month now. So bring us up to speed. What's the latest in all this?
The latest is get fucked. The latest is the tyrant is getting rid of it because his queen said so. God, dude, this is such a fucking unserious country. It's not even funny.
Blaine, you and I could do a 30-minute show on all the court battles and challenges that are happening right now involving the Trump administration. This is involving USAID, the international agency that funds projects all over the world. It was one of the first to essentially be gutted or attempt to be gutted by the Trump administration. A federal district judge has ruled that this abrupt cancellation, abrupt firing of grants in many cases has caused damage, irreparable harm. He's ordered the Trump administration to begin paying out grant recipients again, giving them a deadline of the end of today.
The craziest thing about the Trump administration, and this is a sign that a lot of people should notice and take, but they're not going to, is the amount of legal disputes the Trump administration is currently in. I don't think there's a presidency in American history that has gone through this many legal fucking disputes. Fuck just the first 100 days. The entire presidency. Why? Because normally presidents don't fucking act like tyrants. Okay? And if they do act like tyrants, they tend to hide that shit from the American people because, I don't know, Americans think they live in a fucking full-fledged goddamn democracy. But that's not what Trump is doing. Trump is just straight up acting like, I don't know if this is fucking old age mixed with his narcissism. This is fucking stupid to me. This dude is quite literally fucking deconstructing the state in the name of fucking Elon Musk and a fucking meme coin. We are so unserious as a country. We are eliminating our soft power. None of our allies give a fuck about what we say anymore. None. If another 9/11 was to fucking happen, there is no coalition to go into the Middle East with us and hunt down our enemies. There is no coalition that would fucking come. Why? Because none of our allies give a fuck. And I don't blame them. I really don't. And I'm using it as an analogy. I'm not saying that like America, hoorah, let's go fuck up another Middle East country. Because we do that every day anyways. I'm saying simply, we are so fucked. We could go through a 9/11 scale tragedy. And I genuinely believe all our allies would basically say, damn, thoughts and prayers. And move the fuck on. Which is insane. It's fucking sane. But what do I know? I'm just Minx28. I am chronically online, study way too much politics, understand way too much of this shit. I call tyrants when I see them. And yeah, well, we got a tyrant. And we got two of them. One considers themselves a meme, and the other considers themselves the God King. Do you think I'm overreacting? Do you feel like this is going the way it should? Do you think that Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security and all that stuff will be intact 50 years from now or safe 4 years from now? Who knows? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I sure hope we get the fuck out of this, but who am I kidding? This motherfucking country is straight up over. It's Jover, baby.